He's dead. No. Infected. What is this? Hey! Help! No, you're a sicko. You're a sicko, come on. Sing. Sing, Grace, sing. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What did he do to me? What the hell was that thing? Oh. Oh my god. Oh, not this way, not this way, not this way.
Sound familiar? Everyone's hyping AI coding. You try Cursor, but it just doesn't live up to the hype in your real code base. Here's why. So I have Cursor on my right, Augment on my left. They're both using Claude Sonnet 4. We're going to give the exact same prompt and see how they do. Okay, here's my prompt. Implement the ability for users to upload profile pictures. Okay, Cursor finished. It's nice. Augment actually waits for the process to, get ready. Whereas Cursor here, you can see it said it's finished. Give it a moment and then you should be able to access it, even though it did actually crash here. So Cursor kind of just left us with something that didn't work. Whereas Augment, you can see here, it tries to run it and sees there's issues. So it will actually try to fix it itself, which is really great. Okay, Augment got it running. Let's give it a test. So this is Augment's attempt. Let's see if I can upload a picture. Choose photo. It's just a random photo I'm uploading. This is how your picture will appear. Save. Looks like it worked. And hard refresh. Okay, let's check out Cursor's attempt. Okay, again, it said it should be running, but we never know because it doesn't wait to check the output. So let me test, I guess. Okay, it actually is running this time. Let's test it out. Oh, and we have an issue on the sign up. Looks like unfortunately Cursor wasn't able to do this correctly. Yeah, in my experience, Augment has just been way more reliable.
What the hell was that thing? Oh my god. Oh, not this way, not this way, not this way. this way.
Grace.
What is this? Hey!
バイオハザードで一番重要なのは恐怖体験だと思うんですけれども、今作においてはその恐怖体験っていうところにしっかりとフィーチャーした内容に仕上がっているんじゃないかなと思ってます。
今回の主人公は FBI 捜査官グレース・アッシュクロフト。内向的で怖がり、バイオハザードとしては割と新しいタイプのキャラクターを作ろうとしています。プレイヤーと同じ目線で一緒になって怖がれる、こういうキャラクターを狙っています。物語の中でもちろん彼女も恐怖を克服し成長していくんですけども、 FBI 捜査官なので銃の扱いも慣れてますし、冷静な推理力とかも発揮しつつ活躍するキャラクターになってます。レオンを主人公にしようっていうのは実はずっとあったんですけども、どうしてもレオンを使ったバッチバチのホラーっていうのが割と難しくて、落ちてきたバケツにびっくりするとか、そういうレオンってそんなみんな見たくないやろっていうところで、じゃあホラーと食い合わせ悪いよなっていうのがやっぱりありましたけど、
ファーストトレーラーご覧になって分かるように、グレース自身がすごいいろんな目に遭うんですね。 PV で断片的には入ってるんですけれども、逆さずり一つとっても顔の赤らみ、高揚感であったりとか、うっ血してる表現、あとは髪の毛もかなり力を入れてまして、自分たちでスタッフと一緒にプロの方を呼んで実際にウィッグを使ってそこからシミュレーションして CG に落とし込んだりとかもしています。
バイオハザードレクイエムはですね、一人称視点と三人称視点2つの視点で自由に切り替えながら遊ぶことができます。主観視点だとその恐怖を間近に感じることができて、緊張感のある臨場感のあるゲームプレイっていうのが可能になります。三人称視点だとキャラクターの肩越しでの視点というところでアクション、そういったところがよく見えるゲームプレイになると思いますので、アクションが好きだなって思う方には三人称視点の方がおすすめです。
滅菌作戦以降30年近く経つんですけども、ゲームの舞台として登場します。
その当時アンブレラ事件っていうのでシリーズがヒットして、それ以降もさまざまなキャラクターたちが、いろんなラクーンシティで起きた事件をきっかけに立ち向かっていくようになったり、人間成長したり、そこに今回この表現のメスを入れるっていうのが、作り手としてはやっぱりかなり緊張感を持って臨ませてもらったっていうのが大きかったですね。
ラクーン事件に関わった、もしくはラクーン事件に巻き込まれて大きく人生を変わってしまったり、命を落としてしまったりと、そういった登場人物がたくさん出ます。レクイエムは彼らに向けての言葉通り鎮魂であり、もっと言うとバイオハザードシリーズ、ラクーン事件、アンブレラをきっかけに生まれたシリーズのある種一つの区切りという意味でレクイエムというタイトルをつけています。
バイオハザードレクイエムは2026年2月27日に発売予定です。2026年3月にバイオハザードシリーズ30周年を迎えます。30周年記念タイトルの名に恥じぬようなゲームとして本作リリースしたいなというふうに思っております。
グレースの母親は
大きく方針を転換してですね、
実写映画を目指すというところで、
Further interviews with the creators that didn't fit into today's presentation. will be released today on the Resident Evil portal. Register your Capcom ID to see the rest.
ラクーンシティっていうところは基本触っちゃいけないもんだと。
Alright guys, now that you've seen this awesome gameplay demo and the trailers of Resident Evil Requiem, let's dive deeper into everything we know so far about the game. The story, the characters, the gameplay mechanics, and what Capcom is planning for this next chapter in the series. Resident Evil Requiem is Capcom's upcoming 9th mainline entry in the iconic survival horror series, and it aims to deliver a chilling new chapter deeply rooted in the franchise's legacy while pushing its gameplay into new territory. Scheduled to release in late February 2026 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Windows PC, and Nintendo Switch 2, Requiem returns players to a place long thought lost. The ruins of Raccoon City, ground zero of the 1998 T-virus outbreak that was ultimately destroyed in a nuclear blast. Nearly 3 decades have passed since that catastrophe, and now the story ventures back into this quarantined wasteland. Players assume the role of Grace Ashcroft, a new kind of Resident Evil hero, an FBI intelligence analyst who lacks combat experience and is driven instead by personal tragedy and determination. Far from the gun-toting special operatives of past games, Grace is an introverted, vulnerable character thrust into a nightmare far beyond her training. She has a deeply personal stake in this mission. Her mother, investigative reporter Alyssa Ashcroft, a survivor of the 1998 Raccoon City incident, was mysteriously killed at the very site Grace is now investigating. That site is the derelict Renwood Hotel on the outskirts of Raccoon City, where a series of unexplained deaths and strange occurrences have drawn the attention of authorities. Grace arrives alone at the abandoned hotel to investigate these incidents and to uncover the truth behind her mother's fate. What begins as a simple inquiry soon spirals into a far more horrific ordeal as Grace retraces her mother's footsteps through shadowy hotel corridors and eventually out into the devastated city beyond. The storyline is entwined with the lingering shadow of the Umbrella Corporation, the infamous pharmaceutical company responsible for Raccoon City's downfall. Capcom has hinted that Umbrella's dark secrets and unseen machinations still play a role here, implying that Requiem will continue the franchise's central narrative of bioweapon conspiracies. Indeed, as Grace delves deeper, she uncovers evidence of a new outbreak or experiment festering within the hotel's sealed-off depths, connecting the tragedy of 1998 to a fresh nightmare in the present, and suggesting that Umbrella's legacy is far from buried. When it comes to gameplay, Requiem stays true to the survival horror fundamentals: exploration, combat, puzzles, and resource management, while introducing a unique twist in perspective. For the first time ever in a mainline Resident Evil, players can freely switch between first-person and third-person views on the fly, combining the immersive dread of recent first-person entries with the classic over-the-shoulder vantage point of the older games. This means you can experience terror through Grace's own eyes as you creep down a dark hallway, or pull back to a wider view to better situate yourself in combat, all according to your preference. Because Grace isn't a hardened soldier, the gameplay leans even more into survival and suspense. At the outset, she's nearly defenseless, so you must rely on stealth, clever thinking, and careful exploration to stay alive. You'll scour the eerie environments for any tools that can help, finding keys and fuses to restore power to locked areas, picking up a lighter to illuminate pitch-black rooms, and grabbing improvised weapons like a glass bottle that can be thrown to distract something dangerous. The hotel and surrounding city ruins are riddled with hostile creatures born of bioweapon horrors. Zombies and other grotesque mutants lurk in the darkness, and a towering, relentless monstrosity reminiscent of the series' classic pursuers stalks Grace relentlessly throughout her journey. This hulking creature cannot be killed by ordinary means, so evading it is often the only option. You might hear its heavy footsteps and inhuman gurgles echoing through ventilation shafts as it searches for you, prompting a panicked dash to hide under a table or slip behind debris to avoid its gaze. Requiem cultivates this constant nerve-wracking tension, a feeling the developers have dubbed addictive fear, where the sense of vulnerability is overwhelming yet drives you forward. Still, true to Resident Evil tradition, you will eventually find some firearms and the tide can turn in smaller encounters. Grace can arm herself with weapons like a pistol or shotgun later in the game, allowing you to fight back against lesser enemies, for example, dispatching a shambling undead that corners you in a hallway, but ammunition is extremely scarce, and every shot must be weighed carefully. Managing limited resources is a core part of the experience. You'll combine herbs to craft healing items, conserve bullets by picking your battles, and stash supplies in an inventory, deciding what to carry as you solve puzzles under pressure. The game's level design encourages backtracking to previously secured areas with new keys or codes, all while unpredictable threats keep each return visit fraught with anxiety. Every encounter in Requiem becomes a strategic decision, whether to stand your ground and use a precious round, or to flee and regroup, capturing the classic survival horror balance of empowerment and terror. Visually, Resident Evil Requiem is pushing the series' technical boundaries. Built on Capcom's RE engine, it boasts some of the most realistic graphics the franchise has seen, enhanced by advanced rendering techniques on the latest hardware. Dynamic lighting and cutting-edge ray tracing technology create an intensely atmospheric look. Hallways are cloaked in deep shadows that dance and stretch with every flicker of Grace's lighter or crackle of failing fluorescent lights, and lightning storms outside briefly illuminate the bloodstained interiors in stark white flashes. Capcom's developers have even implemented path-traced global illumination, meaning light behaves more naturally and eerily in the environment, heightening immersion. The art direction capitalizes on these tools to deliver a haunting rendition of Raccoon City in ruin. One moment you'll be creeping through the claustrophobic, decaying hotel halls, and the next you might find yourself out in the deserted city streets, where familiar landmarks lie in decay. Longtime fans will appreciate the nods to classic locales. Early trailers show the Raccoon City Police Department's once grand lobby now overgrown and desolate, its shattered windows lit by the occasional flash of lightning. The overall presentation, combined with a chilling soundscape of distant screams, creaking floors, and unseen things skittering in the dark, ensures that Requiem's world feels as oppressive and terrifying as its storyline demands. Every visual and audio element works in tandem to keep the player's nerves on edge, delivering the kind of polished, cinematic horror atmosphere that modern hardware allows. On the development side, Resident Evil Requiem's journey reflects a careful balance of fan expectations and new ideas. The project is helmed by director Koshi Nakanishi, known for directing Resident Evil 7, which brought the series back to its horror roots. And his team initially experimented with a drastically different concept for Resident Evil 9. At one point, the game was envisioned as an online open-world title, but they ultimately went back to the drawing board to preserve the focused, single-player survival horror experience that fans love. Capcom officially unveiled Requiem as the title of Resident Evil 9 at Summer Game Fest in June 2025, surprising viewers with a dramatic reveal trailer that closed out the show and immediately set the community abuzz. In interviews since that announcement, the developers have shared insight into their goals. They describe Requiem as ushering in a new era of survival horror, one that emphasizes psychological tension and fear of the unknown over bombastic action. Producer Masato Kumazawa and others have explained that making Grace an everyday person instead of a super soldier was a deliberate choice to heighten the horror. The idea is that players will feel afraid along with her. This approach, combined with the game's powerful engine and nostalgic setting, shows how the development team is honoring Resident Evil's classic DNA while still evolving it. Requiem also benefits from the hindsight of recent installments. After the more action-oriented Resident Evil 5 and 6 and the more personal story of 7 and Village, this installment aims to blend the best elements of each era. It promises the creeping dread and careful pacing of the early games, the polished controls and dynamic camera work of the later entries, and a narrative that connects back to the series' most defining events. By revisiting Raccoon City and Umbrella's legacy with modern technology and fresh eyes, Capcom is not only celebrating the series' history, but also daring to take it in a new direction. All told, Resident Evil Requiem is shaping up to be a harrowing survival horror experience that will delight lore enthusiasts and scare newcomers in equal measure. It ties directly into the core mythology, bringing players back to the infamous ground zero of the outbreak, yet it stands on its own with a new protagonist and a self-contained story. Longtime fans will recognize echoes of past Resident Evil entries, from subtle callbacks in the environment to the overarching presence of Umbrella, but Grace's personal journey ensures the narrative also has a very human, emotional core. The game's blend of heart-pounding gameplay and richly atmospheric world-building seems poised to push the franchise forward without forgetting its roots. When it launches in early 2026, players can expect a modern survival horror adventure that honors everything that came before. The fear, the exploration, the monstrosities, while confidently carving out its own identity. Thanks for watching, see you next time.
I'm Drew, I'm 37, and my testosterone is at a 562. Not all that amazing, but just 11 months ago, it was at a 217, and that change was completely natural. I struggled with chronic depression for the better part of the last decade. TRT just weren't in the cards. I layered in a pretty powerful supplement that's called Mars Men, all natural testosterone booster, easily the best on the market. I was exhausted all the time. It wasn't until I added in Mars Men that the game really changed for me.
So, what's the verdict? Wow, gorgeous.
You're looking incredible in that dress. This whole outfit makes you look like an angel sent from heaven. You always look pretty, but you've really outdone yourself this time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, one sec. What the heck? That was much higher praise than I expected!
Nope, I'm going to die of embarrassment. Come on. How do girls do this for each other all the time?
Oh, young love. It's so sweet. He said I was pretty. He said I was pretty. I concede. I didn't think he had it in him to compliment a girl right. He's done well. Almost like he's used to this stuff. Maybe he's into that sort of tomboy aesthetic. Outfit 2, how is it?
Now you've done a 180 into looking cool as hell. I always thought your vibe skewed more hot than cute, so I'd say this is a great fit.
Oh? Thanks, that's sweet. But anyway, moving on.
Wow, you can pull off cute. Who's that Russian bombshell? Lovely.
He's dead. Infected. What is this? Hey! Help! You gotta stay calm. You gotta stay cool, come on. Think. Think, Grace, think. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, what the hell was that thing? Oh my god. Oh, not this way, not this way, not this way.